Okay. Dini kanfos atalos, the corners of the talus. Talus she'eno arba kanfos. A talus which does not have four corners. It's three, and the fourth one was rounded off. Petura. One has no obligation with tzitzis. Yesh lo yosim arba kanfos. Arba, if you have more than four corners, chayevus. Of course, four is within five, is included within five. Vosla arba tzitzios, barba knofos and ruchokos umisu, yoser. Yoser. And where do you put the tzitzis? On the farthest corners. Okay, Mishna Berura, she'ein lo. Bein mitchila sasios bein shechotach akach akonof echot vaso ogu. Whether initially it had the four, or let's say it didn't, it had, and he cut one of the corners off, rounded off one of the corners. It's exempt Petura. Vor bekrod chsiv al arba kanfos ksuscho. It says in the four corners of your garment. Dashin b'sifri arba v'lo shalosh. Four means four and not five. Three. Yosim arba marbinon. So the Gemara asks, so what about maybe four means not five? So that's because that is alluded to because ashet chaser. Because it's more logical to say four is included within five, but three is not four. Regardless, anything more than four, you have to put it's chayeves ish pochin. He says others argue. Since there are others who argue, so therefore it's not an optimum situation when we make a garment that has more than four corners. Kosev haprim godim. Ladasa pochin osen talisos ktanim shalonu sheish beis tzavor. Mikol komer ubusosum. He's bringing out an interesting case point. You know, sometimes you have a round-necked talos koton. Sometimes you have a slit. Let's say that cut goes down the majority of the garment. Right? The majority is open. If the majority is open, that's called a corner. So each side is a corner. So you have the four outer corners, and then you have the inner part of the garment as corners. Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't have to be. It can be inside. I mean, those are considered corners. So according to one opinion, if it has more than four, it's potter. So it creates a problem. So he says, therefore, but he says it's not a problem because since the majority of it is not open, it's closed, that's not called a corner. We talk about the frock. If the frock, the majority is open, that's called a corner. If the majority is sewn down, that's not called a corner. Even though factually it is a corner, that's not called a corner. The person has a vent on his jacket, right? The vent doesn't go up the majority of the jacket. So even though it's a corner, that's not called the corner of the garment.
Is it potter about us, or is it?
No.
You're allowed to do it. It comes down to here.
No, if it's the majority, no. But then
it's us or
no. Then you get involved in the shal whether you're chayiv. According to one opinion, that you're not able to say a bracha, or you may not be fulfilling the mitzvah. You want to fulfill. Why are you wearing a talus cotton? To fulfill the mitzvah.
Right.
So if you're wearing type of garment which is questionable, what's the point? So therefore, he says, even if it has a slit in the neck, if the majority is not open, it's not called a corner. It's not a problem. But if it is, then you should get yourself either sew it closed or get yourself another talus cotton. Okay? Howard's going to ask a question. What's up?
I was going to ask the question. We said that the talus gadol, to be chayiv, it has to cover your back. So if the slit is in the front, right, it should be nothing because your back is completely covered. Same thing with the talus cotton. I have a slit in my tzitzis, but my back is completely covered, just like I would put on a regular talus. You said that was your...
That's no relevance. The garment's a garment.
Right.
Factually, you're wearing talus covers the majority of your body.
Right.
It has a slip. The question is where are the corners? It's only called corners. This is part of the back.
Right.
It's one garment. We're not saying it's not one garment. No. I mean, it's totally wide open. Let's say it's wide open. That person wears a vest, a four-cornered vest. Same thing. It doesn't make if it's open all the way. Yeah, but what about up here? You have a collar too. But let's say it's square up here. It's square up here and square on the bottom. Right. That's what we're talking about. And you have two corners in the back.
Right.
So it's more than, it's a 6-cornered garment. You definitely have to put tzitzis. You definitely have to put tzitzis. Correct. But here we're speaking about you have also 2 in the back. So if you have 2 in the back, now you have more than a 4-corner garment. So majority say you're obligated, but there are those who say you're not obligated. So he says, therefore, it's better not. So he says, he says, normally not a problem because it's the majority is closed. But what happens is it comes out, turns out, the majority is open. Yaseh bekalner she'osem achayotim ktsas ogul. Depends how big the scarf is. Not lengthwise. I was saying the other day, I have somebody once gave me a cashmere. It was almost like a shawl. And years ago, my wife, she stitched it. She put it on the sewing machine, stitched it, that it's a scarf. So it doesn't cover the majority of my back. It's when you unravel it, it could cover the majority of your back. So it can't. Once, we can discuss it later. If it's stitched, even though you could undo the stitches and you could turn it into that, once it's stitched, it's as if it does. It's not that. It's a different garment. Folded and stitched. Correct. Folded itself is not enough, even if you would tie it, and it would not be stitched. It's considered so as if you're wearing open. Ba'arba, v'mosa chomesh. What about it? You put 5 tzitzis. You had a 5-cornered garment. You put 5 tzitzis on, right? Over Mishna Berura. Because you're supposed to put 4 tzitzis, not 5. You're right about Baltosif. V'imchotach achs behen kshera. Right? What about you had 5 and you cut off, you removed the 5th? Because the whole question is maybe it's, it's taslom and osui. Right? That's what he's addressing. Since it was possible, so how did the other 4 become kosher? By cutting once, they became naturally. You understand? But it's not. Because before you made the 5th, there were 4. The 4 was the problem. You understand? I'll give you an example. What's the halacha? It says you're supposed to put a mezuzah on your doorpost. What's the halacha? You take a mezuzah, attach it to a 2x4, and then attach it to the doorpost. It's not valid. Because you're supposed to put the mezuzah on the doorpost. But if the wood you attach to is the doorpost, you didn't. So now it's on. It's on the doorpost. Or you have a case like this. According to Rambam, Shach cites this. The only doorway that you're obligated to put a mezuzah is a doorway that has a door. A doorway is just a doorway. You're not obligated to put a mezuzah. That's the Shittas of Rambam. That's Rambam's position. A doorway without a door is not. You're not obligated to put a mezuzah on.
The arches where we put.
Right.
The Rambam says no.
No, you're not obligated. Not obligated.
And we do.
We do, because the Rambam is a minority opinion. Everybody argues with the Rambam.
So that's a common architecture.
Correct. So what happens? They speak. They say, sure. What happens if the door is removed from its hinge? You have a door, a mezuzah on the doorway, and then you remove the door from its hinge. So at this moment, the mezuzah, you're not obligated to keep mezuzah on that doorpost. And then you put the door back. So what happened now? Now the doorway now becomes obligated because that is a door. You have to remove the mezuzah and put the mezuzah back on. That's tasa lo menosui. According to Rambam, you have to say a bracha because the doorpost is no longer a doorpost.
And if you didn't remove the mezuzah,
according to Rambam, you're
in violation. It's as if you don't have a mezuzah.
Correct.
Even though there is a mezuzah.
Because you did not put the mezuzah. You have to put the mezuzah on a doorway which is obligated in mezuzah.
Fix it.
Right. Okay. Because we don't rule like the Rambam. So the Shach says it's best. Let's say you're doing renovations, painting. So very often they take the door off the hinge and they put it back on. So of course you wouldn't say a bracha. So what you do, you take the mezuzah off, just put it back without a bracha. Because according to the Rambam, it's the right thing to do. Definitely. We don't rule like the Rambam. Yes. Even they. I mean, the other argue with the Rambam also. Ach, shishur abra kamsu b'chok tzitzis kidl kamei. What? Not the 5th corner. Even the 5th tzitzis. He put 5 tzitzis on the right. He's baltosif. Cuts 1. The answer is because the 4 is still 4. The 4 will put on properly. The 5th doesn't exempt the garment. If the garment would be exempt, what would be taslom and also? Let's say you had 4, you rounded off the 5th, then you rounded off the 4th, and then you went and you squared the 4th and put tzitzis on the 4th. You understand what happens? You put tzitzis on a garment that has 4 corners. Then you round it off the 4th corner. Wait, and then you squared it. You squared the 4th corner. You have to remove the 4 tzitzis. Because the tzitzis now are on a garment that's not obligated in tzitzis. They have to be removed and put back on.
Initially, when we spoke about 4 quarters, 5 tzitzis, or 5 quarters, 5 tzitzis.
Either way, no. We're talking about he had 5 corners. He put 5 tzitzis. You were in violation of Maltosif. So it has to be removed. He says even if you remove the 5th, the 4th remain kosher, because they were put on properly. And he says when you have 5 wishes, put the tzitzis on the farthest corners. Hamruchokas yoser. The mistabashesh lasus bosam shem nikorim biosim in ashar. It should be obvious, more obvious, that you're wearing tzitzis on the 4 corners. Yeshom do midoraiso. Others say that it's a doraisa, that has to be on the farthest corners. Yesh lachmir imefsher. It's best to be machmir. Al kvar nasi bekorov hakorov. But let's see, initially he put it on the closer corners. The efshel sake, for whatever reason, you're not able to correct it. It's right before davening. Yocho lisboch al mekilum bevorech. You just even say bracha. You're able to rely on the more lenient opinions and even say a bracha. It's not a sofi bracha l'hokya. We talk what it's the optimum. It's doing the more optimum way. Yesh lo arba. You have a garment has 4 corners. V'chotech echot ba'alachson. And he cut off one. He didn't round the one corner. He cut it off ba'alachson on the diagonal. So now we turned one corner into 2 corners. Baso shnayim. Harei nasis bal chomesh v'chayeves. It's 5. Right? Again, the 3 are going to remain intact. Because this garment, there was never a moment that it was what? It was exempt from tzitzis. Right? The 4 became 5. Okay, to be continued.
So it doesn't make a difference where the corners are. So let's say it comes like this. It's a square, but the point comes here, and the point goes in the back, and there's a point here and here. So that means tzitzis. So someone have tzitzis hanging down the
Yeah,
side
but he
here.
says you should keep the farthest corners.
I'm saying there was one day Ravi mentioned that the store was selling what looked like
Yeah, but it was a poncho.
It's a poncho.
So they're far. It's bottom.
No, but I went to the website. The corners are here and here, and it comes to a point. So someone who was wearing that would wear tzitzis down his sleeve.
No, you wouldn't. The bottom has corners too.
There's one corner here.
So you put a corner. That would be farther. That's a farther corner.
You're going to put on 4 corners.
4 corners.
So there's one corner here,
One-
one corner here, one here.
And one in the
It's just
back.
like
And one in the back.
Yeah. So someone wears tzitzis down the side of the road.
Yeah.